All right, so this is something I found in Fusion that I haven't seen anybody else using, but it's a pretty powerful feature. If you have a 0 point uh, fixture on your machine and this thing never leaves, and you always end up importing it into your manufacturing model and setting the work order system from it, um, there's a pretty simple way that you can define the orientation and the point for the WCS in this model that you import. So what I've done is I've created a joint origin on it. So in this model itself, there is a G54 joint origin that I've created in the center of rotation of my 5-axis. Uh, so that's basically the G54 in the machine. It never moves, never changes. It's always the same thing. Um, so how do you use this? So let's go into our setup here. Um, Typically, you'd select like an orientation here, pick an x-axis, pick a z-axis, flip whatever one you need to make it point the right way, and then pick a point um, to set your WCS. So instead, we can go to coordinate system here, and then just pick that joint origin from your browser. One caveat is this has to be visible. If this is not visible, it doesn't let you select it for some reason. But if you change visibility, even if the model itself is not visible, it lets you pick it. I don't know why that is, but that's just how it works, I guess. So basically, you select it here, and that inherits the orientation and position of that joint origin. So you set this one time in that component, and every time you import it, it's always here with your G54, and you select it here, and you can see G54 is here. Um, and it just makes it really simple to choose your coordinate system for your 0 point. One thing that I wish Fusion would do, which I've never heard anybody else suggest, and I've suggested this to them before, but I never heard back from them. You should be able to select a machine here and have this 0 point fixture be in the machine model and selectable as a work coordinate system. You should just be able to have your fixture itself, like in my case, the fixture would be the vise, or whatever attaches to your 0 point, have an attached position. And essentially, your manufacturing model doesn't need to have this 0 point imported every time. It's rigidly tied to a machine. So if there's a specific point on that machine where this thing is attached that may be different from another machine, then it's distinct from that. And what that would let you do is, go into your machine model itself and select the machine's G54 as your work order system. I think that would make things simpler for a lot of stuff. I don't understand why you can't do this. uh, but yeah, it seems like that would add a little bit to this. It would especially be cool if you had, let's say, a machine with a big fixture plate on it with like a zillion holes and fixture points on it, to be able to define like a G54 or a G55 and so on that fixture plate that's set up on the machine, and not have to add all that stuff into your manufacturing model just to make a simple part. So you can, in this case, you would import your vise, and then your attachment point would be, wherever that vise attaches to the fixture plate on the machine. But otherwise, you wouldn't have to import like the whole giant fixture plate and everything else into the manufacturing model, because sometimes that slows things down if it's a pretty complex model. Um, so it'd be nice just to have the ability to select it from the machine model versus whatever is in your manufacturing model. Just something I thought of, and it might be nice if there was a way to define work coordinate system points and orientations in the machine model itself. Uh, so you could have your G54 be like the first uh, 0 point, and the G55 be the second, and so on. Um, that way, you don't have to do this thing where you import your fixture plates into the manufacturing model. It seems kind of silly for every part. Um, yeah, just something I thought of. Could make things simpler and easier to get right. Um, but this in itself is something I haven't seen anybody else do, and certainly makes selecting WCSs simpler.